welcome to Walks with Moss. We're going on a little hike today up a hill that used to have a good view but doesn't anymore. But that's okay because it's got blackberries and all kinds of other interesting things to see. And I'm noticing for the first time right here at the start of our hike is an apple tree that's just kind of sinking back into the woods. Yeah, these look a little bit green, but we've got some red on them too, so I'm going to try one. Let's see how these go. Probably maybe another week or two to go. And then I can come back and harvest these apples. Nice. You want to go hiking, buddy? You want to go hiking? Yeah. So far, I haven't really found any mushrooms yet this year. I went to my best summer spot and I found 3 little buttons. There's probably more there now. I wanted to go there today, but it wouldn't have been a long enough hike, and I don't think there's enough time to do this hike and go there. There's never enough time in the day. It's supposed to be pretty hot today, but it doesn't look like it so far. We've got some very mature stinging nettles here. I'll be back for them in the spring. Here's a red elderberry. I've never really experimented with eating those. I don't like the way they smell. Here's another one over here. It's Saturday of Labor Day weekend. I thought about going to the ocean, but it's going to be crowded at the ocean. And I thought about going to my Bass Lake, but it's going to be crowded there too. So it seemed best just to go up this nice hill where I always just get abundant solitude. I've been up here dozens of times now, and I've only seen other people twice. It's great. I can just really relax here. Here's our bitter cucumber. It's not even in the same family as cucumbers. It's not a cucurbit, but it vines just like a cucurbit, and it makes these really bitter fruits that are absolutely poison. Here's our thimbleberry. They're a little bit dusty. There has been some logging here, but it's only during the weekdays, so this is still a nice place to go to get some solitude on the weekends. Here we go. Here's a thimbleberry. This is my favorite berry of all the wild berries. Yum. Oh yeah, that was a good one too. This is a cascara tree. Someone did a really brutal job of stripping the bark though. They girdled this poor tree. Wow, they could have done this without girdling the tree. Huh. Yeah, I wonder if it's someone who even knows what they're doing, because I don't think you can sell cascara bark anymore. It's been decided that it's a little bit too toxic. There's a couple more cascara trees, and they have been completely girdled, which means I think the trees are going to die. Although I had a English ivy tree once that I girdled and it didn't die, but yeah. Wow. This was probably done maybe yesterday, because this tree isn't showing any signs of distress yet, and it feels moist. Huh. Wow. I've never seen evidence of someone stripping cascara bark before. But yeah, this is our cascara tree. It's a strong, strong laxative. Even the berries there, you see that berry? Those are a strong laxative too. And back in the day, people would harvest the bark and sell it dried to be used in laxatives. But that is not allowed anymore. And we've got better laxatives. Wow, look at that. Yeah, whoever did this obviously doesn't plan on ever coming back. Oh, looks like they left a bunch of toilet paper down there too. Wow. Wow, whoever stripped the bark off these trees, I'd say there's someone who doesn't care much about the wilderness. Because, yeah, these trees are dead now. These trees are toast. Wow. Wow. That is a very savage way to harvest your cascara bark. Wow. Bella's having fun. There's some sort of birds back in here. Here's a foxglove. A straggler. Most of the foxgloves are done now. Oh, we got another one of our bitter melons back there. What you doing, buddy? Oh, and looky here. Old Panax horridus. Devil's Club. I got a friend who uses this for medicine. I've never tried it. She digs up the roots. I don't want to do that because then you kill the plant. But I think you can use the leaves and other parts too, but I don't bother with it. I just admire the plant. That's our American ginseng. It's related to ginseng, I do think. Got some more thimbleberries down here. This lower part of the hike before we get up into the hills is definitely the nicest botanically. And there's, see the red berries there? That's the Devil's Club berries. I thought they were used for blood sugar control. Can't remember exactly. Oh, look here. We've got another one of those bitter cucumbers going way up the tree. Those are toxic though. Don't let the name cucumber fool you. It's rumored that the indigenous people would actually use those to unalive themselves. They're that toxic. For breakfast, I'm going to have some blackberry fruit leather. I made it by cooking down the blackberries and then adding sugar to taste, and then pouring them out on some sheets in my dehydrator and letting them dry slowly. Yum. I tend to make it just a little bit on the tart side. I'd still like to pick blackberries at least one more time this year. I've made 26 pints of blackberry jam, 18 pints of whole berries, and I'm making 6 gallons of wine. I'd really like to get enough blackberries today so that I could have blackberry dumplings tonight. That would be nice. I love blackberry dumplings. They're doing a little bit of gravel mining up here, and in the process they blew apart some sedimentary rocks that are filled with really cool fossils. I'll show you all those fossils when we get up there. Hopefully they're still there. I didn't take any. I used to take fossils, but I've kind of quit. I'd rather just enjoy them where I find them and leave them be. Check it out! We've got a mushroom! Not exactly sure what this is. It's got a really fibrous looking cap. We've still got a nice marine layer here, keeping things kind of cool. And there's a little breeze, which is helpful. It is kind of humid though, so I'm still a little bit warm. But this is better than bright blazing sunshine. 5 grouse just took off. 4 in that direction and 1 in that direction. And not because of Bella, but because of me. I guess those are this year's baby grouse and a parent. They learn how to fly when they're so young. We've made it to the fossil rocks. Right here is a layer of seashells. And there's all kinds of really cool clam fossils in here. These are some of the best fossils I've ever found anywhere. I'll show you some more here. They just keep going on and on. I mean, yeah, these are just little fragments here, but later I'll show you some whole clams. There's so many fossils. I think this is sandstone, and these are going to be pretty old fossils. They'll be from when the Olympic Mountains were under the sea, and even before Silesia. There's a little bit of a clam right there. I've seen horn corals in here, which would put these at, I think, around 43 million years old. But mostly, we've got clams here. There's part of a large clam there. But I still haven't got to where the best fossils are up here. Hopefully no one's taken them. I don't think that many people come up here. I assume that they are still safe. A bit of a clam there, and some clam there, and just all these fractured shells. There was a big clam there. There's just a mold of a clam. These rocks came out of a quarry, and they're just lining the side of the road with them here. Here's some fragments here. There's just so much fossil in here. Oh, here's a big one over here. Oh, here's part of a clam there, but I was heading for this one here. There's a big clam shell. These really got blasted up. Here's where the fossils are coming from. They're really, I think, just trying to mine this basalt here, but they're having to blast through a layer of sandstone and fossils to get to it. There's some more big clams down there. It's a cool find anyway. I've been hiking here a lot of years, and I never knew that all these fossils were right here. Never would if they hadn't started logging again and mining the gravel for the logging road. They sure are blasting them to bits though. Yeah, it's this layer right here of sandstone. And that layer's kind of going sideways. There's some columnar basalt over there, which will be from the big lava flows that came from eastern Washington. And then there's this sandstone, which is kind of sitting on top of it, but I don't know if it actually belongs on top of it or not. I don't think it does. I don't think it was originally on top of it. Yeah. But a bit of the basalt flows from eastern Washington did make it over here to western Washington, right in this area, which is pretty fascinating. That's a long ways for all that basalt to go. This right here we're walking in right now is the sandstone. Yeah, there's a clam cast. Just so many shells here. Just an enormous layer of clam shells. There was a big clam right there. Look at all that. Yeah, this is one of the really neat ones I found last time, so I guess they haven't been taken. Just look at that. How cool is that? Look at all those clams. Wow. It would be fun to take these home, but you know, they just take up space and they clutter, and then no one else gets to enjoy them when you take them home. And they've been here for millions and millions and millions of years. At least 43 million if there's horn corals mixed in. So I like to just admire them. Here's some nice green pine cones sitting on the ground. I'm going to pile them up here, and on the way back I'm going to take them with me and make pine cone syrup. I've got one batch going at home already. I wish these were just a little bit greener because I can't chop them up into little pieces like they say you should do. Maybe I should saw them. But yeah, you take these and you mix them up with, that one's too dirty, mix them up with brown sugar and then let them ferment for 30 days. And you've got pine cone syrup. I don't know how it's going to taste, but it smells wonderful already. It smells like pineapple, which really surprised me, even though I read it would. I still didn't believe it until I smelled it. Maybe a squirrel harvested those. I don't know. I'm not sure how those green cones get down there like that. But I was here before, and they were here then too, so I'm going to take them. I'm not stealing from a squirrel. If the squirrel wanted these, it would have taken them a couple weeks ago. I don't really understand why there's so much logging activity right now, because I think lumber prices are a bit down, and the local sawmill yard is just filled to the rafters with logs that presumably they're waiting for the prices to go up before they mill them. But nonetheless, there's a ton of logging happening around here. I'm glad they don't work on the weekends. This is the way I found to get solitude. I can't get it on the trails anymore. There's just too many people, and it makes me sad to see what is happening to the trails. They're getting so trampled. So these old logging roads are the way to go. That and climbers routes, but all the climbers routes I wanted to follow this year are in an area that's closed. We have a 9,000 acre forest fire happening really close by. Some of this is not clouds. Some of this is sure to be forest fire smoke, although it doesn't smell bad. That fire has closed down a lot of the places where I normally hike. Here's a new gravel pit that's just been carved out in the basalt. Wow, I'm too warm and I'm running out of steam. I may stop here and have a cup of coffee. Bella let me know she was thirsty. Not sure what happened to her little water container, so she's drinking out of a plastic bag. And there's some birds up there making quite a racket. I'm not sure what they are, but they are making some noise up there. I think it's kind of late. Here, Bella, want some more water? I think it's kind of late in the year for birds to be nesting, but they're acting like they're really not happy about our presence, whatever they are. Cheers, everyone. I'm not doing any cooking when the conditions are this dry, so I just brought a thermos full of hot water that I put my coffee mix in, and I'll be having a cold lunch today. There might be a car somewhere down there. Could just be the wind too. I'm tired, and this coffee is not helping yet, although it is too hot to drink. We're still going to go to the top of the hill though, because I didn't hike last week. I only got in 4 miles towards my goal. So I really need to get in a good hike this week. And it's already Sunday, so it's technically next week. So I'm still going to be struggling even to catch up for this next week. But yeah, I need to get it done. I want to keep my goals going. I've suddenly gotten really busy because school is about to start and sports are taking off. So, and I got other stuff going on at home just keeping me so busy. I've got to find time to hike though. I need to hike. But the other problem is finding time to sleep. It's such a balance. I wanted to sleep in. I needed to sleep in, but it was supposed to be hot today, and I knew I couldn't do this hike in the heat. So I had to decide, which do I want to do more, sleep or hike when it's not too hot. Plus I had to water my garden before I left. Just not enough time in the day. Still thirsty, buddy? Drink that up. It's super dusty here. I'm getting dirt all over my pants. Nice little thistle flowers. I wish this coffee would cool off. I could use the calories. Yeah, Bella. I know. You want more, don't you? Okay. You know, you're too close to focus. You don't care. You don't care about the camera. I think I could have slept in today. Didn't need to get up to avoid the heat. This fog is just getting thicker. It's not burning off. Here is an enormous patch of self-heal. Now I know where to go if I decide that I really like this stuff. There's just so much of it growing right here. Now that we've gotten off the main logging road, it's going to get more botanically interesting here again. I'm keeping an eye out for chanterelles, but I've never actually found chanterelles here. Not even last year when it was such an amazing mushroom year. I don't know why they don't grow here, because it sure looks like a good place for them. Here's some more nice blackberries. This is our native blackberry, the cutleaf blackberry. They taste good right at first, but they have an aftertaste I just don't like, which is a shame because there's lots of them here. These native ones definitely don't do as well as the other kind. I always forget which is Himalayan and which is evergreen, so I just call these ones cutleaf, and I know that they're the native ones. There's lots of digitalis or foxglove gone to seed, and I could collect lots of seeds, but last year I collected a bunch of seeds and none of them sprouted, at least not the ones I spread out. So this year I think I will actually try to grow them out in some seed starting mix to see if I can get some to sprout, and I can have them in my yard. but also they transplant really easily. So I don't actually need to grow them from seed. Well, there's some more good blackberries. Yeah, there might be enough up here for dumplings. And they're still going to produce for a while. There's lots of red ones. If I plan on coming back, I should pick all of these ripe ones now because they will mold and then ruin all the ones that aren't ripe as they get ripe if these are just left on the vine like this. Not sure I can reach them though. They're kind of down a steep slope there. I can grab these ones though. I'll get them on the way back down. Maybe. Or maybe I'll just eat them. I don't really feel like carrying a bunch of blackberries out of here. I just got a jump scare thanks to a grouse. I really let out a good scream. It's gone, buddy. It's long gone. It was up in the tree. Wow, is it loud. Look at these gorgeous big berries. Yeah. Just right about at the peak of ripeness, too. Nice. Wow. These would fill a bucket so fast. It has been a phenomenal year for blackberries. Just phenomenal. I should take advantage and pick more. I'm happy that we made it to the top of the hill. There used to be a really amazing view right here. It's all gone now, even without the fog. There's no view here anymore. So I always just go right up here and eat my lunch up here in the trees. I did find a couple of chanterelles up here last time, and they were too small, so I left them behind. Let's see if they grew. Here they are, the ones I left behind. They didn't grow much, or maybe they did, but they didn't get picked. But they are definitely being eaten. Okay, little slug, enjoy your mushrooms. Yeah, these have been really enjoyed. The slugs can have them. And that's probably the only chanterelles up here. It's the only ones I've ever found up here anyway. I'd be surprised if there was any more. So now just to find a comfortable place here in these nice woods to sit and have lunch. Looking for the perfect place to sit. It's got to be a log that's just the right height for me to be comfortable sitting so my legs can rest just exactly the way I want them to. If I don't find a perfect log, then I will tend to just sit flat on the ground because that's pretty restful too. I think this log might be tall enough. Yes, it's perfect. So lunch today is something I'm really looking forward to, actually. Open the container here. I've got lots of tomatoes from my garden. I'm getting a lot of them now. With some sort of Spanish salami and some Spanish cheese that reminds me of Parmesan. And a few little bits of cucumber, and I've drizzled olive oil over all this and added salt and some Thai basil. I am looking forward to eating this. I really wish Bella wasn't panting so hard. I'll be glad when she starts breathing a little easier so I can sit here and just hear the forest instead of panting dog. Okay, that was that. Maybe not the most exciting video, but I really, really enjoy hiking up this hill. I think it's the quiet and the solitude that I get up here. Because even with the view gone, I still like it. I see a mushroom. What do we have? I'm not entirely sure what this is. Oh, ouch, ouch. Oh, that was a devil's club. There's a slug there, which I think just finished eating the mushroom and then was hiding underneath it. I'll put it back. I think this is an amanita of some sort. Yeah, I think I see a little vulva down there, and it's got the annulus. So, yeah, some sort of amanita. And I'll put this slug back under here. This is not a native slug. This is a European invader. And this is one that would love to eat your garden. I'd much rather it was a banana slug. That other mushroom had a leopard slug on it. I can't remember if leopard slugs are native or not. I think they are. But this one is not native. Enjoy your amanita. Wonder if there's any other mushrooms in here. May as well just look around a little bit. These are some interesting woods. Very dark, with lots of stuff on the ground. It always seems like a good place for mushrooms, but it never really is. Here's a little conch, red-belted conch. Yeah, okay. Going to head right back down the hill now. Probably nibble on some blackberries on the way down. And if anything super exciting happens on the way down, I'll let you know. I just found some pickable chanterelles back in here. Ones that the slugs haven't found yet. Nice. Nice. Not very many, but still. Oh, wait. Yeah, actually, the slugs have kind of feasted on this too. It's really slimy. Okay. The slugs can have them. Yeah, huh. I guess there's so few mushrooms this year that even the slugs are having trouble finding them. So everyone I find has already been found by slugs. Wow. Oh well. I'm going to go to my favorite summer chanterelle patch tomorrow and check again for mushrooms there. I found 4 there that were just starting to pop when I went there about 2 weeks ago, right after we had an inch of rain in one day. Hopefully there'll be more now because we're starting to get some humidity. We're getting some dew on the forest floor. Things are definitely starting to get moist. Even without rain, it's starting to get moist. It's starting to feel a little bit like fall, as it should. It's August 31st. Yep. Fall is coming. I really hope I can find a ton of chanterelles to can because I've almost eaten all the ones I canned last year. I've just enjoyed them in everything. I've had them in my coconut Thai curries, and I've had them on my pizzas mostly. And man, I have just really enjoyed them, and I know I've saved some money on my grocery bill with all those mushrooms. So I really, really hope to find just as many this year. Maybe I can. It's going to be a lot more work though. A lot more work. It's just not going to be as fabulous as last year. It can't possibly be. Okay, let's head down the hill. I'm back to the spot with all the green pine cones, and I thought I wouldn't be upsetting a squirrel by taking them because they've just been left here, but I think otherwise now because there's a squirrel up in the tree yelling at me. So I guess the squirrel plans to come back for all these pine cones that it cut down. They've been here for weeks, but yeah, every time I get near a pile of pine cones like this, I hear a squirrel. So I'm just going to take a couple of pine cones. Well, maybe, I don't know, just a small amount. Just a small amount because I can't reach the green ones. So I'll just take this and I'll leave the rest behind. And next time I come back, I'll leave it something to eat. Maybe some corn chips or something yummy, or okay, maybe some peanut butter, something nutritious for it. But yeah, because I keep seeing these on here, I thought maybe the squirrels weren't coming back for them because they're just staying here, but I don't know. The fact that every time I walk through here, there's a squirrel yelling at me tells me that the squirrel does want its pine cones. Okay, squirrel, I won't take your pine cones, and I'll bring you back some peanut butter next time. Okay. Here's another mushroom, an agaricus. I've probably looked up its name before. I don't think it's leucoagaricus because it's got that brown, but it's definitely some sort of agaricus. Let me double check that it doesn't... Oh, wait. Does it have a vulva? I think I will go ahead and pull it out just to see. And no vulva. And its gills are free, I think. But then, don't amanitas also have free gills? Let's see, it's got free gills with sort of a ball and socket attachment, yes. So I think that makes this an agaricus. It smells nice. It smells very nice. No, amanitas do not have free gills. So any white agaricus that do not have free gills, do not eat them. There's a song on a CD that I have that says, agaricus, agaricus, their gills are always free. If you find some that are not, please don't feed them to me. Which I think means that amanitas do not have free gills. And you don't want to eat most amanitas. It's nice to see a few fungal friends out. Gosh, I'm tempted to go up there to look for mushrooms, but this just isn't the best mushroom spot, and I'm tired. And there's still a chance it could get hot today, so I think I will keep moving. We are almost back to the car, and there's a little bit of wildlife down here. This is always a sure sign of fall. Some sort of woolly bear. I can touch them with my fingers, but can't let them touch any of my tender skin because those hairs will get stuck in your skin and cause an allergic reaction. What you doing? That's the end of the leaf. You have to go back. Yep. We got in a good hike. That was 8 miles with about 1,100 feet elevation gain. Nothing compared to the hikes I used to do, but still a good distance that I'm happy about. We're back to the car, and I think I'll end this video here. So thanks for watching, and I might make a video tomorrow even if I find lots of mushrooms. We'll see. Bye-bye.